it is worth to spend some efforts in identifying the right profile of the project manager. What are the attributes that a project manager should have in order to be effective, efficient in what he does? Because ultimately he's got results to achieve. And, where those results, they don't contemplate an option of failure, it is very clear to most of us that when you don't have an option of failure, what does it mean? It means that the whole process of managing a project, it has to be based on a very accurate plan, contemplating all the risk attached to a particular project, and contemplating all the different plans that they are going to be necessary to be implemented should certain deviation from the original plan take place. It is possible. It is possible, and it is doable. Not possible only, it is doable that a project is seen with zero tolerance for mediocrity, and whereby a failure is not an option, cannot be even considered. Now, in order to see that we are achieving what we ought to achieve when we conceive a project, we put together a number of attributes that are typical of an ideal project manager, a successful project manager. What we are saying, he has to be in a way a kind person, a person of communication. He has to know how to communicate and communicate effectively. At the same time, he has to be ruthless. There is no tolerance for anything less than perfection. Ruthless in achieving what he ought to achieve. He can't listen to any story. He must be goal-oriented. So it is human that we are sitting to listen to stories. Everyone has got stories in this world, and it is inevitable that we have to have time to listen to stories. But stories, they mustn't take us out of the track line, in achieving what we have set to achieve. So goal-oriented is an absolutely must attribute. He decide, the project manager decide. He is not afraid of taking a decision. And when he takes a decision, he has to go with it. He is thoughtful, and that sometimes is not easy, but yes, he's thoughtful. He uses staff work and encourages staff personal growth. So when the ideal project manager has got the staff and the team around him, he has to see every component of that team, any individual in that team, as a person that has to grow in what he's doing and as being part of the team. Is results oriented. It has to be. He direct others from the front. He is effective, the attribute. He is absolutely an expert to mediate conflicts, because conflicts are part of human nature. So conflicts are there, they are happening, they're all the time, they are part of being humans. So the project manager is the person that he finds himself in the front line whenever a conflict appears, and he is the first one that has to create the conditions to control those conflicts. He has to see a long-term effect of his decisions and of his plan. I like to think that the project manager has to identify himself or herself with the project he is leading. He's got to be part of his nature to identify himself or herself. Then he is mission oriented. A project is a mission that has to be accomplished. You see the whole picture all the time when there are small little picture, when there is a puzzle made of many pieces. If you want to have a chance to put it together, you got to see the big picture, what that puzzle come to. Then with his example, he attracts talents. People want to be associated with the project manager. They want to be with him. He operates comfortably in external and internal politics. That is a big one. He manages resources. He synthesizes and simplifies matters. Any matter that can be simplified, it must be simplified. The environment is important for a project manager, and is concept oriented. So those are the attributes of an ideal project manager. So we wanted to synthesize them on top of the balanced mixture of attributes, that they have to include experience in the execution of construction projects. Experience is a must. If we can call it an attribute, the attribute of experience, there it is. Academic background, it must be adequate to the project is undertaking. In other words, if he's building a billion dollar bridge, he has to be a top engineer. He has to understand the project. The ideal project manager, it has to have the attribute of participative leadership. It has to allow others to express themselves, and then take the best of all the best of his team, and make it one best. It has to have the ability, absolutely, this one is a big one, to assess and weight risks. And according to the risk, always have the alternative plans. Then it has to have a deep desire to drive the project to completion, no matter what. It has to have a decision-making skill, and also the negotiating skill to reach decisions that they are satisfying all the parties involved. It has to manage conflicts. It has to reject mediocrity. It has to have a very strong personality, and the ability to solve problems. This is the picture of the project manager with the right attributes to succeed.